So our final speaker, they are Wei King, an independent consultant specializing in Microsoft System Center. With over 10 years of experience and now with 6 years of Microsoft MVP Award in Enterprise Client Management, he continued to be in the front line of his fields. He delivers consultancy services to the biggest company in Malaysia in all industry. Wei King is an experienced speaker, is well seen in regional and local events. He is also an active member of the System Center community. His session today will be, why do I have to do a certain thing in a certain way in SCCM? Please welcome Wei King.
Thanks, Lai. Thanks for the introduction. So thanks for coming to my session. It's the last session of the day before you guys adjourn upstairs to sit for ask the expert panel and also start winning your lucky draw gifts. Yeah. So the title of my presentation is quite a mouthful, isn't it? Right. So why do I do certain things a certain way in ConfigMgr? You realize in this session or in a lot of other events, the sessions are about how do you do this, how do I do that, right? It's a lot of how-tos. And this is my first time doing a session that is nothing to do with how do you do this or do that, right? The question that we want to answer today is why, right? So this may be a very short session because I only have one agenda, all right? It's so short that my first slide is the question and answer slide already. So, hold on. This question and answer is not for you to ask me any questions. It's for me to ask you questions, right? Right, so, first one. How many of you here use ConfigMgr? I expect to see, yeah, okay, right? For those of you who are using ConfigMgr today, how many things there are more than one ways to do things? Yeah? Or only one person? Okay, good enough, good enough. So let me ask you this. For a gentleman over there, so you use ConfigMgr, you're going to do an application deployment, right? How many collections do you need? Is it easier? It's right. So don't you find yourself asking this question a lot, right? So I know the lady over there. I worked with her before. So if let's say some of you you do patch your PCs, right? How many software update groups do you actually have, or do you actually? Yeah. How many software update groups do you actually have? Right. So the point I'm trying to get at here is that there are a lot of questions that you ask. Okay, should I just have one software update group, dump all your patches into one, and that's it? Right? If you do that, why? So this session is a lot about not about how I do things, but why I do certain things the way I do it in ConfigMgr. So you constantly have questions of why, and suddenly your boss starts screaming at you and say, why? Is my server down? No, okay. Right, so first up, so the first thing that I want to share with you is content folder structure. Every time I go into a customer environment, guess what the customer normally do? How do they actually store their files? I mean, not just files, like they've got applications, folders, right? And maybe they have a folder that they create to store all their patch. Or maybe they have another folder that to store all their drivers or their operating system image, right? And most of the time I see them storing their files everywhere. I mean literally everywhere. I've even seen a person had the source folder inside the program files folder in ConfigMgr. Alright, so I see a lot of these things happening. So my advice is you need to start organizing that. So over time I've developed some ways of organizing these folders. And it is